I've got another flat panel TV in here to work on. This is a really cheap 32-inch Emerson LCD. I think it's only 720p, and this was trash picked, and unfortunately it's got a pretty bad scratch in the screen that is probably going to be visible when it's on. Hopefully the panel's not cracked, but I've tried plugging it in and all it does is make a high-pitched squealing noise. So I'm assuming something is shorted out on the power supply and causing it to go into overload protection. So let me get this thing taken apart real quick. Taking this TV apart's pretty straightforward. There's several screws, and there's more than one type, so you're going to want to pay attention to where each of them goes, especially with the machine thread screws that hold the stand on. The three longer ones hold the stand on the TV, and then there's two shorter ones that go here. And then you've got several coarse thread screws that go into the plastic, and some small, I think they're M3 thread screws that go through the back in the middle, like one here, and one all the way over here. Other than that, I think there were some snaps on the sides of this where I just used my usual trick with a single edge razor blade, put it in that seam right there, and just carefully pry it one direction or the other to release the snaps. But it's best to use a plastic tool for that, so you don't risk cutting yourself or scratching the TV. But for something like this, I don't really care. So yeah, not too bad to get the back off, and there's probably not much inside either. Well, this is a cute power supply. No bulging caps. Not much in here at all. Well, let me start checking components and see what I get here. Alright, I did a quick test using my multimeter, and as I suspected, there are shorted components on the output side of the power supply. These four large diodes here are all shorted, and this small one here in the middle is also shorted. So let me pull this board, get some part numbers, and see if I can get these ordered. I tested a bit further by removing one end of each of these diodes from the board so that I could test them individually. I found that all those large ones are actually good. It was the small Zener diode here in the middle that was shorted, D633, and the part number is 1ZB27, so it's probably a 27 volt Zener. I'll see if I can find the data sheet and find a suitable replacement. Probably upgrade the wattage a little bit while I'm at it. Everything else looks to be okay. I haven't found any other shorted components so far, so this may be another simple fix. But I gotta say, this is one of the lightest weight, cheapest, flimsiest boards that I've ever worked on. The whole TV is like that. The whole thing weighs less than a lot of monitors and TVs that are a fraction of that size. So that gives you an idea how cheap this thing really is. Since I'm just working on this for fun and I want to see if the screen is any good before I spend money on this, I'm going to try this 24 volt 1.3 watt Zener that I found in my parts bin and see if that at least lets this run enough for me to check the rest of the TV. I've soldered that diode on temporarily. Didn't bother trimming the leads because I want to put that back in my parts bin if it doesn't get damaged. I'm not going to bother editing this video. Let's just put power to it and see what happens. I'm going to switch hands here with the camera so I can plug the cord in easier. Alright, here we go. No pop, no flames. Ah, we have standby light. I'm going to press the power button now. Oh my God. It lives. Let me set this up so I can see it better. This TV was constructed in such a way that I was able to reinstall some of the screws that normally go through the back panel while leaving the back panel off. And you know, still have something to hold the stand and keep the inner parts of the TV together so I can test it without having the back panel in the way. So let me stand this thing up and hook it up to something, see if it has a proper picture. I hooked up another piece of trash-picked electronics. I got this Blu-ray player here. The drive is flaky, but it works fine over the network, so it'll give me a signal source. But let's see if this thing is going to work. Aha. Not bad. The screen's not cracked, but the scratch is annoying. Maybe I can try to buff that out a little bit. But not bad at all. This thing's pretty cool. It's actually got advanced color settings in the menu and the option to read pictures and video from USB. But I'll try that out later. So far it's working great though. Well, I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave that diode in there since it seems to be working absolutely fine. And maybe being a lower voltage it'll actually reduce the stress on some of the components. I don't really care because it was a trash-picked TV and it weighs about 5 pounds despite being a 32-inch. But the scratch on the screen, I've got it buffed out best I can, and really it's not bad. I can only see it on really bright areas of the picture. So I'm actually going to use this. I need to fix my living room TV, so this will be a nice temporary one until I get my big Insignia TV fixed that finally screwed up on me after a few months. And that was another trash-picked TV, so I can't really complain. But anyway, I'm going to put the back on this and take it upstairs.